Shout out to US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 690. This is All the Treat Tuesday, the round 2 with Chuck Vogel. Epic. This is going to be epic. I'm your boy MJ. What's good, everybody? Please do me a favor. If you're enjoying these Tuesday night episodes, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all, doing those things. We'll remind you of all 7 episodes being dropped every week here on Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world. And just to remind you guys, you can listen to all these episodes on all major audio platforms, Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the major audio platforms. So if you're not a YouTube person, please, I highly recommend checking everything out on the audio platforms. Of course, with me, the one and only legendary Bill Stiegel, the mayor, and of course, Marshall Mendez, which everything looks perfect, sounds perfect, I think. Say something, Marshall.
What's up?
Wow, look at that. Woo! Bill, did you see that?
Marshall, nice shirt.
Oh shit. Look
Wow.
at that.
Nice memo. Fucking, I should go change. It's good. We should be
No, don't change. I
think I should go change.
Cryptic Conjo fucking bowling team right here. Holy shit. God damn, man. What's up, boys?
Oh,
how's it
man.
going?
Pre-Tinley show. I've been thinking about, Tinley's this weekend.
Yes. NARBC Tinley. I'm so excited. I don't want to rub it too hard into Marshall's face because it's unfortunate that he won't be there, but a good portion of the Lost Boys will be there. Gary's going to be there. No Ryan again, but who cares?
3 out of the 5 will be there. We will miss Marshall and Ryan, of course.
Yes.
I was thinking we skipped, or at least I skipped Tinley last year because we went to Daytona.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think
It's been a couple of years since I've gone too. I can't remember the last time I was there. It's probably 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe 2 years ago now. I can't remember.
And MJ, you were at Tinley last year. Last October, you were there?
Yeah, I started going back to Tinley last year, I think, or I think March, maybe. I don't think I've been to an October Tinley in a long time. I think the last 2 Tinleys I went to were in March. So I think this is my first October Tinley in like at least 2 to 3 years. Also,
All
I
right.
want to say, looking forward to it. And I don't know, I got to say real quick. Let's kind of get this topic going real quick, Bill, if you don't mind, about shipping and how you're holding off this week with FedEx. Do you want to update on what you've heard so far with the whole shipping ordeal happening with FedEx and you not being able to insure animals?
Well, I was all ready to go ship out 5 animals. My temps are perfect tomorrow. I was going to ship 5 things out for Thursday delivery.
Right.
But, I got the kind of the word. There were actually shipments delayed on Monday. I shipped out 3 animals to Canada on Monday. I shipped them to New York. They got there safely, but I know David Brahms's shipment to Canada was delayed. So hopefully it gets there tomorrow because that shit has to be inspected and out of there tomorrow, regardless of these shutdowns. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, just what a mess. What a mess this whole thing is.
I'm surprised you're even able to import or export right now because I remember the last time I sent something to Europe, it's probably been, I don't know, it was the last time we had a government shutdown. All the permits got completely jacked. Like, it's so bad that the export permit from the U.S. took so long to get that the people in Europe's import permit expired.
Yeah.
While we were waiting.
I've played that game before too, where the permit gets expired and then you got to put it off for months. But luckily for me, it looks like in this scenario things are going to go through. But better safe than sorry. I told everybody that was supposed to get stuff on Thursday that it wasn't going to happen. Everybody, of course, very receptive. They want the well-being of the animal, of course, to be first and foremost. So it's all good. My problem is that my temperatures are back into the mid-90s next week.
Whoa, weird.
Yeah, so it probably won't happen next week. And then I start to get into the situation where a lot of the people that I'm shipping to, their temperatures are getting cold, getting too cold to receive. So what a mess. It'll work out. But yeah, what a mess.
But Bill, okay, but I know this is what I always thought. Like, obviously your temps, it's hot, right? But if it's leaving your temperatures at night, it's not really affected in that case, right? Because by then it's going to be either in Indy or Tennessee. So those are the temps you really got to look at, right?
True, unless it gets delayed, and I've had them get delayed locally.
Oh shit, yeah.
I've heard them, not leave the Dallas hubs because of shutdowns. And then that's when you run into problems. So
yeah,
that's a little bit. Doesn't happen very often, but it's happened to me too.
Yeah, I was really on the fence, and I was prepared. Frankly, I was prepared to ship until I talked to you guys, talked to Gary, talked to a couple other people that were supposed to ship, and everybody's just like totally hands off, don't even think about it. So
yeah, I mean, because if you can avoid delays, why not? Like, who cares? Like,
yeah.
And we're in a good window.
Not to mention there was I heard almost 500 boxes delayed today, and I mean, who knows if they'll even get off tomorrow. I saw today on the news where like multiple airports were completely shut down, like nobody to work the towers.
Yep, exactly right. So hopefully this thing, I was talking to MJ before we started. A lot of times these government shutdowns, they just, tomorrow it could be completely resolved and it opens back up. But even if that happens, it takes, days or maybe weeks to get up, everybody get back to work, and things that were backed up get sent out. And so, who knows what's going to happen, but better safe than sorry. I'll be sleeping better, tomorrow night, not knowing that they're out there in limbo.
Yeah, but if your temps do get back to like what they should be around this time of year, you will ship all the way up to the holidays at least, right? Right, Bill?
As long as the destination temperatures support, for sure. You don't want to get bogged down, then you're running into Thanksgiving and then Christmas. So yeah, man, it's amazingly tight. The shipping windows are, and, we're talking about, high-end animals, and it seems like I play this game every year. Things always work out in the end, but just got to be patient, logical, do the right thing. It'll work out.
I'll tell you what, I'm kind of like not struggling, but it's like I have to almost remind some of the people that I have waiting for some of my neonates to be ready, to where like, luckily like they are on track, but there's a chance that they don't have the amount of meals I feel comfortable sending it, and then some of these guys live in the East Coast where it's like, well, shit, I can't get nothing in November because
it's too cold.
And so it's like, well, then I have to hold on to the springtime. And
right,
a lot of these guys are fucking they're trigger happy, dude. Like they want their animal. Like they're all, and I get it. Like they're all excited. Like I got one guy who told me, shout out to Matt. I didn't mean to name drop you, but his biggest package is coming from you, and and I believe it had to wait because of what's happening or something like that. And he's like, dude, I've been looking forward to getting that snake so bad. I'm like, oh, don't worry, it's gonna come, of course. But it's like, dude, these guys can't wait, man. They're so excited.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm used to waiting. Listen, nobody wants to get these animals out of here more than I do, right? I mean,
For real.
I mean, it just is what it is. They want to receive them as badly as I want to get them out of here. But we just have to have cooler heads prevail, and just, it'll get done. This is a game of patience and longevity, and so we all have to just take a deep breath.
All right. Well, we would get to Marshall about like his neonates that he will be making available, but he has none. And Chuck Vogel's already in the back, and we don't have much time with Chuck. We have until his battery runs out on his laptop. So We're gonna get straight to work. You guys ready to bring Chuck Vogel on for this round 2 or what?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
You guys are in for a treat. Chuck Vogel, round 2, coming at you guys right now. Episode 690. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man,
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
exclusive. Oh,
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
and we're live, episode 690. This is the round 2, visual and audio with Chuck. What's up, Chuck?
Well,
There it is.
Chuck. Man, that's an awesome intro. That's a who's who.
Hey, Chuck, how are you, man?
I'm okay. How you doing?
It's literally good to see you on this episode.
You know, I'm known for some tech issues in my life. It happens.
But guess what? Here's your rebuttal, and you made it happen, buddy. What a rebound!
Yeah, damned if I didn't just forget the charger today. But you know what? We got a good amount of battery. We should be fine.
Yeah,
Excellent.
man. Well, welcome back, Chuck. I think I just kind of want to pick up where we kind of left off, but before we kind of dive into what I want to, talk to you about with which is the Black Canary stuff. Remind me what is happening currently this time of year for you right now. We're heading into, obviously we're in fall, but now we're gonna be heading into the colder time of the year. So you have stuff paired up, you don't, or you're about to? Can we?
Oh no, man, I live in Florida.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, the first cold fronts will probably start coming in late November.
Right.
So, I kind of let the snake room drop as temperatures drop.
Same.
So I generally don't start doing introductions until December.
Yep. Same.
It'll be a little while. Right now I'm fattening them up,
Right.
eating heavily, still feeding last year's little guys.
Right.
Chuck, do you do any kind of food cycling during your breeding season?
Not per se, no. I really don't. I mean, you know what?
Feed them the same throughout the year?
My strategy, Bill, is when I feel like they need to eat, I feed them.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely do not have a food cycle. To answer your question, no, I don't.
So you keep just temperature cycling.
Yes, temperature and photo period. I mean, the snake room sort of enforces the North Florida photo period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
there's a definite change.
hey, but Chuck, I'm sure there's a time of year where you're not feeding as much, right? Like, so, is there ever a time where you're not, doing your type of scheduling feeding?
All the males are going to go off. As soon as the cold front start rolling in, all the males are going to go off
naturally.
Yeah, and the females. I don't know about you guys, but mine will eat anytime. Doesn't matter what temperature is, whether they're opaque or not, they'll eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feed my females, and I don't know. They seem to go year after year, and they bounce right back. They eat, 4 or 5 days, a week after they lay, and next year they're fat and happy and ready to go again.
Yeah, Bill, this year your females bounced all back pretty well from what I remember you saying. So
Yeah,
far,
they've
right?
all bounced back really well. In fact, I'm gonna pair several females 3 years in a row this year because they just have done so well. And yeah, just see what happens. But I'm kind of in Chuck's corner. These things, they're amazingly resilient after they lay. So if things continue to go well, then yeah, I'll keep pairing them.
Yeah, my one of my founder Kofiau, the yellow rose female, I think she went 6 in a row or maybe 7 in a row, and she was fine. She would have been good for years to come if Nido hadn't come along,
Yeah,
and wiped things out.
yeah,
She was in a cycle. She was in the rhythm,
yeah.
and she didn't miss a beat ever.
What size clutches are you getting from these girls, Chuck?
It seems lately I seem to be locked into like 12 and a couple slugs. I mean, it's just on average, it's like 12. Actually, this last year, the ones that went south in my Enrico's big incubator for the second year in a row, I actually had a clutch of 15 or 16. I'd have to look back and see, but it was a bigger than normal clutch. But typical for me is like 12 plus or minus.
Yep, I'd say that's pretty average as well here, 12 to 15.
I don't see a lot of those Walder clutches of like 20 eggs. Those don't come my way.
Yeah.
Bill, what's your average? I'm sorry, about 18, 16?
No, less than that. My average is probably 12 to 16 eggs.
Yeah.
But you've had some pretty big clutches before, though, right, Bill? At least a couple.
It seems my bigger clutches come from my, and I don't have a lot of them, just a handful. Designer to locality type. Those locality type females tend to lay bigger clutches than my designer females. But I've been real fortunate. Very few slugs. I've had very, very few slug outs or even slugs laid in these clutches. So just let them do what they do. We were talking before. Alex Warren just posted. He's just had a couple of nice clutches. He hasn't had any slugs either.
Yeah.
So just as long as they're healthy clutches, the size is less important to me than just the quality of the eggs that get pooped out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not uncommon to hear stories of people having females that just look like dog shit after they lay. And that was kind of something I was always like fearing, going into breeding. But this year, especially, I've had all my females bounce back really well, and I followed pretty religiously what Bill does with the soaking. So I just feel like that hydration is pretty vital to them being able to bounce back okay, versus some people maybe not providing that type of hydration, not knowing that they need it. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen any of that like deathful female aftermath from any of my females that laid this year, other than one that egg bound and died.
Boy, these females can look really ragged after they lay. I've got a manicory female that still looks really pretty dang ragged. She laid a month ago, 5 weeks ago, but she's eating.
That's all matters.
She, right back, first meal offered, small meal. She ate. Been feeding her a small meal once a week, and she'll bounce back. But boy, they can look really, really on death's door after they lay.
Wow, that's a pretty late clutch, Bill.
What's that?
That's a pretty late clutch.
Oh, for me,
You got another one still to be laid too.
Bill broke his own rules this year. Bill,
I did. I did. I broke my own rules, and it's paid off.
What are rules for?
To be broken. Yeah. I've got my 10th female that's in her. Just had her post-ovulation shed.
10, bro, 10 double digits.
Nice.
Double digits this year. Small clutches, but yeah,
matter.
Just super. When you think about it, I paired 11 females and 10 of them went this year.
Damn,
So,
That's insane.
I wouldn't be upset with that at all.
no, not at all.
Yeah,
I fucked up one of the clutches and only got one baby, but
Still count.
the rest of them, just super blessed to be able to have that kind of production.
yeah.
And luckily that happened early in the year for you to adjust, and you were able to fix that.
Yeah, my first clutch. Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck, what's your biggest year? I know you always kind of stay on the minimal side, right? You never really tried blasting numbers out from what I remember, or
No, I mean, I don't have that many animals, so it's not an option to like, blast out millions of them. But, last 23, I think I had 2 clutches for a total of like 18
nice.
or something like that. Which, you know what, getting 18 little Kofiau started is all the work I need. That's plenty for me.
I can imagine.
If I had more than that, I'd be farming them out.
And can we kind of talk about the stigma with the whole Kofiau establishing, like, it being such a pain in the ass? Because that's been something talked about throughout groups, but I feel like nobody with the experience has really honed down on why that is, the case with Kofiau. Do you mind?
Man, I have absolutely no idea why it is the case, but it is the case. But it also is the case that once they start, they never stop.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the best damn feeders in the world once you get them started.
Right.
And many years ago, after the first year or two, the first year, it's like the damn things would not eat. They were runners or tuck and hide. And, I kept calling Eugene. I kept calling Rico. It's like, what the hell do I do with these things? Because it was the first time I had hatched any chondros.
Yeah.
And finally, what happened? Oh, yeah. Finally, at some point, Rico said, well, you may want to start assist feeding them after like 6 weeks or something like that. It's like, well, damn, Rico, you might have mentioned that a while back. So, long story short, I've gotten now, I guess it's because I'm just older and lazier and have less patience. I straight away, I start assist feeding anybody that doesn't eat. And generally, like, 1 in 10 is going to start eating, sometimes 2 in 10. The rest of them get assist fed pink heads until they come around. And it generally, on average, is like 5 or 6 assists. And then they start taking them and they're good to go. Then they're eating machines for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard that stigma with Aru locality types as well?
Yeah, that's been my experience with them. The 2 clutches that I've had, which were both a long time ago, but still.
The only ones I've ever had that were more challenging than these little fuckers are my buddy in North Carolina, Rusty Rollins, sent me like 3 little Aru that he couldn't get feeding. And damned, I thought, oh, no problem. I'll just assist and treat them just like Kofiau. And man, those were the most pain in the ass snakes I've ever dealt with in my life. I mean, they were, I sent them back. It's like, I don't know what to do with these. You can't even assist feed them. They're going to thrash around and spit it out.
I mean, some people say it's because, like, I don't know about Kofiaus, but Arus are such a docile, seem to be such a docile locality type compared to Beox. Little Beox are just snap, 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 and in Arus.
But Bill, there's no more docile than Kofiau. I mean, they're as puppy dog as they come.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It just seems like his little Aru, they just resist every step of the way. Right? They were just nearly impossible. With these guys, if you get a pink head crammed in their mouth, they will, 80% of the time they'll swallow it.
Yeah.
If you don't miss the tub down, they might dislodge one every now and then, but generally you stick a pink head in there, they're going to swallow it eventually. But damn, those little Aru were like determined to starve to death.
And how long ago was that, Chuck, when you were trying to establish an Aru clutch?
Jeez Louise. Man, I don't know if that was like 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I couldn't tell you. It's been quite a while ago. I don't know. The years run together,
When
Chuck, are you going to come to Tinley, hang out with us?
I wish I could.
I do too.
They're working me to death. I just kind of went back to doing a STEAM lab, science lab full time.
That's cool.
And my God, I'm tired. Man, I'm getting up at like 4:15 in the morning. School starts at like 6:55. It's like the earliest start time of any school I've ever heard of. And man, it's killing me.
What's a STEAM lab?
STEAM is like STEM, only they throw art in there. It's like science, technology, math, engineering, all that good stuff.
Got it.
It's a science lab. It's a science lab with a fancy name.
That's a high school, right? You're at a high school.
No. Hell no. This is like elementary. This is like I have 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. I got little guys that are not so little that they're, melting down every 5 minutes, but they're, not entered that middle school nightmare age.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I want nothing to do with middle or high school. Unless maybe 12th grade would be all right.
My wife is an elementary school counselor, so I feel your pain, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's just that, honestly, since COVID nearly killed me, I have had like, I don't know, half the energy that I used to have.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got like pulmonary issues from the damage that it did. So, I don't know. I don't know what the source of the exhaustion is, but man, I'm just constantly exhausted.
How much longer do you think you're going to work, Chuck?
Hell if I know. I don't know, Bill. Right now, as long as I can, because I honestly do love my job. I like going to work. I enjoy the kids.
Yeah.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
But they're making it really hard to retire these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just the whole environment. It's just tough to retire.
Yeah. No.
When I think about living on retirement, it's like, I'm not sure how people do that.
Yeah. Yep. I get it, Chuck. I get it. Well, hang in there, man. And thank you for coming on tonight. I know, I know you'll have an early day tomorrow, so we appreciate you coming on and hanging out for an hour or so.
I'm fine, man. I'm good to go. It's only 9:27, Bill. I'm good to go. 4:15's a long way off.
So Chuck, let's kind of talk about where your 2 clutches are currently at right now. As far as establishments, are they all still here? Last time we spoke, let's get to that.
There's one this year. I only hatched one small clutch.
One clutch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
I've got the 2 little mutant black-eyed things, which one of them is now eating right here beside me because I was feeding snakes while I was waiting to come on.
Nice.
They're doing fine. They're all just pounding pinks. So they're all
no sign of color change yet on the two black-eyed ones.
No, they're bizarre, Marshall. They're just bizarre. They're black-eyed, mutant, weird pattern, just weird little things, kind of like that.
Yeah, that's September 3rd, so that's about a month or so.
Yeah, they've changed a little bit, but not a lot. I mean, they do not look like a Kofi owl. I don't know what they're gonna end up looking like, but they're definitely off the beaten path.
And I'm sorry, how many of these did you make this year?
I made 10 of them. One of them I ended up putting in the freezer because it had a defect anterior of the vent. And I felt like it was just, not, I shouldn't keep it going. Yeah. And one of them failed to get out of the egg. So I've got 8 little guys going here, and they're off to the races good.
Are you going to release any of those, Chuck? I know not the black eyes, but are you going to release any of the others?
I'm definitely not in a hurry to. I doubt it. I mean, I should probably send Matt one of these black-eyed guys. But I haven't heard from Matt. Has anybody heard from him in a while?
Yeah, he told me just shoot it over to, just have Chuck just send you the snake, MJ. And I'm like, all right, I'll talk to Chuck about it. we'll talk afterwards. I'm just kidding. Actually, I saw Matt at the Dallas NARBC, and he was at your house, right, Bill? Wasn't Matt at your house?
Oh, my God.
I can't remember if he was at your house or not.
I don't think so. I don't think he was there. But,
no, Sony was, but yeah, I can't remember if Matt was.
Sony was there. Texas Carpet Fest is in 2 weeks. I think it's the weekend after Tinley, or maybe the weekend after that. 2 weekends, and I think Matt Morris will be at Texas Carpet Fest.
Yeah. Well, he's not quite as under the radar as I am, but he seems to be pretty under the radar most of the time. I just don't hear much from him.
Yeah.
So I got to reach out and see what's up with him.
Yeah, same. He doesn't post a lot. He's not active on social media.
Me neither. I'm in
Are
my
you,
own
are you
little-
gonna are you gonna pair the same parents again this year?
Yeah, I
These
mean, I don't
two-
have
'cause
anything
I
else to
remember,
pair. I don't know
correct me if I'm-
where. If any have come into the U.S. or have turned up inside the U.S., I'm not aware of them in the last 2 years. So, I mean, I would think there would have to be some out there somewhere in the U.S., but I sure don't know where they are.
But didn't you tell us last time that the pair that produced these black-eyed ones, you never had paired them together before?
So it's the siblings that I've been pairing since, the 2016 sibling pairings that I did in 22 and 23 and 24 and last year. But I switched up siblings. So these black-eyed mutants, came from I took this male and put it with this female instead of keeping the same like number 1 and 5 and number 7 and 3. I swapped them. So evidently, I mean, it's hard to say what's going on with the genetics. I don't want to get ahead of it, but it certainly seems like there's a genetic trait going, and some of the 2016 clutch has that gene, and some of them don't.
Well, the proof will be this year. If you pair the
time
same,
will tell. Exactly.
pair the same ones again and get more black eyes, then
exactly. I'll do the same
something.
pair. Yep, I'll do the same pair again this year. And if it's like 75% or 25% black eyes, then it sure looks like some sort of recessive gene.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I have a feeling that's the old blackhead. It's hard to imagine that it would be something unrelated to the old blackhead Kofiau.
Yeah.
It would be pretty bizarre if it was unrelated to that guy.
Other than the eyes are different. The eyes of the blackhead are silver, but they're
silver, but
change.
It's not a stretch to imagine that when Blackhead was a little guy, he had darker eyes, and that they just went from black to silver. And I can almost see these ones, they've kind of got some underlying silver thing going on. So it's not a stretch at all to imagine that they would end up looking like that. And especially that broken pattern. If you really look at the blackhead canary, it's got that same sort of scattershot broken pattern.
Yeah. And then it's blue, right? It looks like it's got a lot
It's got a lot of blue, yeah, and I can definitely see, but there's no clear like typical dorsal flowers like you typically would see. And these little guys, I can look at them and absolutely see them turning into that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see that pattern with age developing.
Right. And I see that's kind of what you're doing here. Like these photos were from January of 2024. So how are these looking now?
So those were those guys. That female right there looks just like she does in this picture. She hadn't changed at all. And wow. these are some. So ever since I started these sibling pairings that are with the blackhead in the pedigree, at like a year or so, they start getting these dark flecks, little dark speckles, which I've never seen before, ever in all the years of messing with canaries. I've just never seen that. I don't know what to make of it, but that female that you just showed is like still just yellow with little black flecks all over the place, or little dark flecks. She's totally unchanged.
Remind us the history of the blackhead. Was it imported? Did it already look like that, or did it change in captivity?
It was imported. I believe that picture right there was from Bushmaster. I think Gary, if I'm not mistaken, Gary acquired it through Cameron, and then gave it to Rico to incorporate into his group. And I know Rico produced multiple. I think this guy sired like 4 or 5 clutches, but I don't think anybody ever followed through with it. I think they were just, bred to other Kofiau or went into different projects. I don't really know what happened to them. but I don't think anybody ever tried to isolate and replicate that.
Well, what a project that's going to be to pair a couple of those little babies together in the future.
For sure. Absolutely. And that really, some of those, the 22s, man, I really probably grew them a little definitely grew them faster than I typically do. Those 22s are going to be good to go, not this year, but next for sure. And, you know, I don't know who I'll pair with who, but yeah, that's the one you just went by. That's number 6, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. 2206 looks exactly like that right this minute.
I mean, it's safe to say that's going to be the future of the snake. You know, I mean,
you know, it's so bizarre though that she was not a black-eyed weird mutant. She was a typical looking little Kofiau hatchling, but at like 11 months or 12 months, all these little dark flecks presented themselves, which is kind of as unheard of as black eyes. You just don't see that ever. Yeah. I mean, generally in Kofiau, you don't see anything until, you know, 36, 48, 5 years, you know, you just don't see anything but yellow for a good while. And these guys early on, at least probably, I don't know, 75% of them had these little dark flecks, and some of them, you know, have sort of, the flecks have sort of receded a bit, and they're kind of typical looking, but not really typical. Right. Others have like partially changed, but are still, you know, probably more yellow than not. And the female that I think you just went past, there's the two-tone female, and then there's, who is that? That's the number 3 female. So that's the dam that gave birth to these mutants. Wow. And she's kind of bizarre because she starts out pretty dark anteriorly and lightens as you go back. It's got, it looks like a coach whip. You know, the coach whips with black head and then lighten as you go back.
Yeah, I can see it totally.
I've never seen that. I mean, that's kind of bizarre. And then the other female that keeps laying, the number 5 female, is like the two-tone one. And I think there were some recent pictures of her sitting on eggs this last spring.
This one.
Yep, that's her. It's kind of hard to see in that picture, but she is a two-tone animal. She's got like, if you can zoom in a little bit on that.
Yeah, I can zoom in.
It's like there's an absolute line there laterally where she's got markings up above, and then it just kind of goes light. There it is. Now you can really see it. I mean, there's a distinct line there.
Yeah, you can see it. So
really everything that has come from those 2016 animals that were from 09, 107, the daughter of the blackhead and 05, whatever it was, signal herp 1, all these things are atypical for Kofiau as far as I'm concerned, just because I've never seen the two-tone, and I've never seen the starting out darker and getting lighter as you go back. Never seen that speckling phenomenon. So interesting. I don't know, man. This is very, very bizarre for me, because for many years it was super predictable. You know, they were just typical quintessential Kofiau that were glowing until 3 or 4 or 5 years, and then some of them changed, some of them didn't.
Well, I kind of good, Bill.
I was just going to say, it seems the way that the world is working, you know, we may never get Kofiaus imported
ever
in the States again. You know, so these literally could be the animals that we're left with.
So it scares me. That really scares me, because all I see are Daniels, and you know, they're never going to leave Australia.
Yeah.
And his are very typical, you know, very typical Kofiau. The last ones I know of that were imported were like farmed in Indonesia, and you know, they came into Miami to Muna, a guy that used to live here in Gainesville. And one of them went to a guy in Jacksonville here, and another one went to Jorge.
And how long ago was that? How long ago was that, Chuck?
That was 2 years ago, and they were sub-adult, young sub-adults at that time. So this year, for the first year, I think they're going to be probably breeding age. So at least there'll be some little infusion of new genes. But man, if some of them don't appear from somewhere, yeah, we're kind of at a standstill here. We're kind of in trouble.
I don't have my pulse on the chondro importation world at all, but I just get the feeling that it's just not happening.
I do not.
It was, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't have my pulse on it either. However, I do know a couple of guys that seem to keep up with it and have a pretty good feel for it, and they say that there's just been none in sight. So it seems bizarre that they would just be absolutely absent from the menu.
And why would that be? Are there issues? Are there issues in Indo, or is there habitat being disrupted? Or
man, I saw a video of, I can't remember his name, the big guy who was actually on the island of Kofiau. This was like a year ago, 2 years ago, and there were plenty of them.
Really?
They were out there not field collecting, but observing them in the wild. So they are there. They do exist, but that whole island chain or that whole area is what's it designated? It's a do not touch area. I can't think of the designation, but I think that they absolutely are not. Yeah, they're not letting animals out of there. So I don't know. It's going to take somebody getting creative, I guess, or somebody that's got some in Indonesia and can farm them and send them here. There has to be somewhere that can manage to turn up in the States. Otherwise, we're at a big dead end.
Not if you keep cranking them out. We're not at a dead end.
Well, yeah, but where do we go from here? Eventually you got to have something. I mean, eventually these guys are going to get old.
Have you kept up with the animals that you spoke of that were imported a couple of years ago? I mean,
yeah.
So they're alive, they're thriving.
Oh yeah, they're alive and thriving. And Jorge, I sold him a 22 female to pair with it. Good. And I also sold the guy in Jacksonville, Damon Christopher Watkins. I sold him a female to pair with that male.
Good.
So
good.
they both have everything they need. Excellent. And that's a start, but again, we need some new animals from somewhere. And somebody did say that there was somebody in Germany, although, when Rico called around in 2014, he kind of made a last call around to everybody he knew to see if anybody had anything, and all the Gray Sunday animals and offspring were gone, and all his connections said no, there really aren't any. We came up empty there. So it just seems like there's got to be somebody in Europe that's got these guys, but I don't know who that person is.
You never see. I mean, the only people I ever see posting them are you and exactly Daniel in Australia.
Yeah, that's all I see. So I'm hoping that somebody who's listening tonight may chime in and say, "Hey, I know where some are."
you think that'd be Patrick Holmes, or at least like someone in that realm?
Man, I assume that if Patrick found any, he would have let me know by now.
Or if Dan Malari can't come up with them, I'm not sure who else right now could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but when you hear of them, please let me know.
Yeah, please tap into Chuck or let either me, Marshall, or Bill know immediately.
Yeah, they're in desperate need.
So was this the pairing from your 2022 stuff? I'm assuming.
Those were the 220. Yes, that was 2207 and 2203 right there. That's the female that looks like a coach whip, dark anterior, light posterior.
Right.
They were both the male is still very yellow. He looks pretty much like he does. He's the one with the the little bit of green on the head and neck. He's a yellow for life guy. But that female now is slowly, ever so slowly inching towards hormonal blue, but it's the slowest change I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, looking at a lot of this stuff, it looks like they have little to no change. Period.
Well, it's been real slow, which is not atypical.
Yeah,
that female number 3 didn't really change until after her second clutch. So
wow.
She was like 7. She's like 7 in that picture right there.
But she has like a green coming in a scale like at a time. Like there's only one scale of green.
Yeah, she
like spread out
after the clutch. Let's see, that was January 22. No, that's not true. That was the first clutch in 23. After the 23 clutch, couple months after the second clutch in 23, she sort of went like dirty yellow.
Okay.
And then slowly but surely, turned into the weird coach whip looking thing that we just looked at.
Weird. Okay. So
yeah,
more that highlighter type green that we're talking
about.
Yeah.
And that's, for females, I've never had a female stay like Kofiau yellow beyond like 7.5 years. Males, yeah, my 2 founder males were yellow at like 13, 14 years old. They were never going to change. It's the males that really, really stay yellow, or some percentage of them. Females almost never. I don't know of any female that has stayed yellow for life. They just don't.
They turn green.
They don't necessarily turn green, but they don't stay yellow.
Kind of like white out, right? They kind of go like their version of hormonal blue.
Yeah, I mean, one of mine went seriously like blue, super hormonal blue, and the other one was like one of those like lemon lime type deals where it was, you could say it was like a little more yellow than green, or a little more green than yellow. And they do have that chameleon thing going on where, depending on the season, they'll lighten up or darken up. They do vary according to the season. But yeah, they're unique animals. The Kofiau are. They're kind of bizarre.
People in the chat just reminded me, and I don't know if it was the episode we had with you, Chuck. I know we brought this up on the show, fellas. But tell me if this right here, Chuck, looks like Kofiau to you. So this is my buddy Chris, who has his own show here on the network. He lives in Indonesia on this farm, and he has a group of pure Kofiau. Does that look Kofiau to you?
Looks pretty damn Kofiau to me. Although, kind of hard to see, but yeah.
I think he's going to show more. Well, actually, here, it's going to show it again. So I'll let you get another look at it.
And what's this? Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me. Looks like nice yellow eyes. Looks like one of those lemon lime deals that's hard to say whether it's yellow or green.
I could get with him, and I could get him to connect with you to get you some pictures and whatnot. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind talking to you about this and get you up to speed, because I feel like Chris would definitely be somebody who would know like what's really happening over there with importation, and like what's really being plucked out, what's not, because he's really tapped into that whole scene over there big time.
Cool. That would be great. And I don't know. I know some time ago that Cameron, apparently Bushmaster stopped breeding the pure Kofiau because the little guys were such a pain in the ass to get started.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the labor to dedicate to it. So they started, doing other things. So there have to be some people like your guy there who are breeding pure Kofiau. There's just got to be.
Cool. I'll get you connected with them for sure.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Bill? I'm sorry.
Just MJ, has your guy Chris, has he produced?
I don't think he's produced yet.
That animal?
No, a lot of this stuff is kind of just like a lot of these projects have just started getting going for him this year because they remodeled and added a bunch of these outdoor enclosures and whatnot. So I'm pretty sure that was from 7 weeks ago. I know he's gotten clutches from Jayapura stuff, other pure localities,
Yeah.
I don't know about the Kofi out, but I'm going to ask him after tonight. So
I wonder what size group he's got.
I think there's another post he did where he shows it. Let me find it. I'm pretty sure he has like, I don't want to say, oh, here we go. Here's the other one. Let me show you this one. This might be the one that shows you at least 1.2 or something. I want to say he has all together. And here it is right here. So there's one right there that he shows. And here's a different one here.
Damn, I'm loving the outdoor enclosures.
Yeah, right.
Gotta love living in Indonesia.
Yeah.
So that's two. And then here's a different one. So far that's three. I don't know if the one next to it is one because that'd be four. So it looks like he has a group of.
So that's got the nice little giant white scale patches.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Have you seen that before, Chuck, on Kofi?
Oh yeah. That's definitely a good sign. Those look pretty Kofi out to me.
Yeah. So who knows?
It's interesting that you were saying earlier, somebody who was there recently had no trouble finding them. I've heard all kinds of stuff over the years that they, were over collected and now you can't find them, and that the island's been clear cut. And
are we talking Kofi specifically here, Marshall?
Yeah.
I've heard the same thing, that it was wiped out by a typhoon. It was over collected, everything, every possible scenario, doomsday scenario. But yet I'm sure it hasn't been more than a year or two that whoever the hell that guy is, I should know his name. He was out there, crunching through the woods and finding plenty of them. They were not hard to locate at all. So the animals are there. I just think that they're not being allowed. They're not allowing any to leave.
Damn, look at that row. Look at that row. That's a dream right there.
What a paradise.
Yeah, right.
What a paradise.
So yeah, I'll definitely get you plugged up with Chris, man. He's awesome. Good guy.
Excellent.
Brian Sussman was just over there with him, and I think I sent you guys a video in the chats, but he found like a sarong type or something like that. But yeah, they're definitely, chondros are definitely being found out in the wild, I'll tell you that much. But so okay, good.
I'm ready to go find some in the wild. Let's go.
Have you ever been over there before, Chuck? You've never?
I have not. Damn it! If Rico hadn't ditched us, I would have gone by now, because after he went, he was gung ho to go again and again and again, and he was trying to get me to jump in, but of course that didn't pan out.
Who would he go with, Chuck? Like, who was his group of people that he would go with?
He didn't go with a group of people. He went with himself, and he went and hung out with Cameron and the Bushmaster guys. And I'm not sure where he went other than to the Bushmaster facility. I don't know where all he went or who he hung out with there, but I don't think he went with anybody that I know of.
What a dream it would have been to visit Bushmaster in its prime.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what's the deal with Bushmaster? Is it still functioning or not?
I wouldn't know.
I think it was been sold, right?
Has it?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea. I
heard that, but
I'm out of the loop.
You guys want to know something kind of off topic, but relates to Cameron? So shout out to Chad Brown. He got Cameron to do an episode twice, but then he had Chad take down both episodes.
What?
Really?
Yes. I don't know why, but Chad was like, MJ, we got to take both episodes down. I'm like, I didn't ask why. I was just like, all right. He's like, this is per Cameron's request. I'm like, no problem. I'll take him down right now. So
what the hell?
What a mysterious guy.
Yeah. The only time I met him was at the ICAST in Maryland, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Whenever that was, in 2014 or 13 or whatever.
Yep.
That was the first time I'd met the guy.
I mean,
I'm a man of mystery for sure.
I mean, yeah, from the multiple people I've had on this show that have been around for decades, like tied Cameron to some crazy history behind all this stuff. You know what I mean? He goes way back,
He goes way back. Yeah.
Not just chondros either.
Yeah.
Animals in period in general, right?
Everything.
Yeah, I think
the two interviews that he did with Chad were, I listened to both of them. They were awesome. Like
I thought they were chill. I was like, what did
there being
say?
anything that was that I would be worried about being on the internet.
Yeah, that's kind of weird that he wanted him taken down. I'd like to have seen that.
Well, I'll still give you. I'll give you the link. Don't worry, it's still there. It's just not out to the public. I got to call Patreon members, and I'll hook you up. Don't worry, I got you.
Cool, good deal. Well, I think he's definitely led a colorful life of adventure.
Brian Fisher in the chat just said Bushmaster is no more.
Wow.
Damn.
There you go.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I worried about that.
I mean, nothing's forever, but
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, that was the main source of chondros into the United States for decades.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I got one.
That's a shame.
I got something from Bushmaster that came from Chad. I had a group of them, but one of them just died. One of the females just died. And the other ones are doing fine. But Chad told me they were 2017, and I'm like, Chad, you might want to check your date book, buddy, because I'm pretty sure looking at these damn snakes, which Bill, you've seen these snakes. They don't look like no 2017, dude. These snakes look like 2007. You know what I mean? Like they're, you know that coloration the older chondros get, right? As they get old, they almost turn into a whole different hormonal color. Yeah. And that was these snakes. I could tell definitely these things were a couple decades old for sure.
The Maniquori female that I have came from Bushmaster.
Wow. So how old is she then, Bill?
Oh gosh, she's probably 12 years old now.
Nice.
Got her as a red Neo.
Wow.
Supposedly farm bred, but I think definitely an imported animal. Got her as a baby. Had some scars on her, that you may see from an imported animal.
Yeah. What'd you pay for that, Bill? Do you remember?
I have no idea. Probably a few $100.
Okay, I was gonna say under 500 probably. Just about.
I actually got a group of them. I got 6 of them, and I sold 5 of the 6.
Damn.
I kept her, and she just laid her second clutch. So yeah,
12 years old, but she's only laid 2 clutches.
Yeah.
Wow. And you've tried, and that's what she's given you, or you weren't trying her as much?
No, it took her a while. I probably bred her for the first time. She may be 10, so I probably bred her for the first time when she was 6 or 7. Took a couple years off. So yeah, she'd be about 9 years old.
Hey Chuck, I got a question for you. Have you ever had a male that you've either produced or raised up never breed for you? Like ever, just not do the job?
I think I have. Seems like surely I would have, but it's not coming to mind. Man, these guys, especially the 2016s, the 2022s, man, they breed like rabbits.
Nice.
My dog is annoying me here. Quit. Stop. Go on.
You're 2022, so that's about 3 years ago. So they're fairly young.
Yeah. They seem older than they are.
That dog reminds me of Shiloh, Bill.
Yeah.
It's a big annoying dog. It's like a human. It's like a child.
Yeah. You know what's crazy though, man? My love for dogs changed when I got kids because I realized like how much bullshit I was letting my dogs get away with. And now that I have fucking babies, like real kids, I'm like, dude, this whole luxurious lifestyle my dogs used to live is just all out the window now. God bless them, But I love dogs, dude. Soft heart for dogs for sure. But yeah, I was gonna ask you. So your 2022 stuff, I'm sure you've had males breed for you, but you've also had females from 2022 lay clutches for you already.
Oh, absolutely. No, wait a minute. Hold on.
No, 22. That's 4
no. The 22s are gonna be ready like what next year?
So you haven't bred any males or anything from 2022, is what you're saying?
Correct. Although last year several of the males like went off feed and cruised, and I'm sure if I had thrown them in with a female, they probably would have jumped on them. But they sure went through the motions of a male that was ready to go. And in my experience, after like the 3rd year, they seem to be pretty much ready to go. But yeah, I guess I'm really thinking of the 2016s, and all of those that I know of, the males have been like killer. The ones that I rehomed, one of them produced eggs for Mario. I'm blanking on names. Guy in California got eggs this year. He said that male just is relentless.
Mm.
You know, he has to pull him so he doesn't just stress the female out. But
he got eggs from that snake bred to another Kofiau, or just something else?
To something else, because his female is not old enough yet. So yeah, he threw it in with I think it's an import. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of a long-term import that he got eggs from. I'm not sure that it was his first clutch, and I'm not sure that a whole bunch of them survived. But he got eggs, and definitely he's got a male that's good to go. I think there was a delay. You know, I think there was a long period between copulation and ovulation, or there's definitely a long gap there somewhere. And you know, they were not your prettiest eggs in the world, but they were viable. You know, they had veins, and they hung in there for most of them went the distance, but you know, they just didn't. I don't think a whole lot of them hatched, but the males from that 2016 group have all been like good to go, like anxious breeders, to answer your question about the males. And I have a feeling, based on the behavior of the 22s last year, I'm sure that all of them will be cruising this year, because I have grown them much faster than I typically do, and they look like, you know, 4 or 5 year olds, even though they're not going to be 4 until March. Yeah, that clutch hatched in March of 2016, so they'll be 4 in March, right?
Right. So you'll have how many females ready for this year?
Well, I typically wait until the 5th year. I you know, was not really going to try and breed the 22 females this year. So I was going to do the same 2 2016 females, the ones that produced these mutant guys, and the two-tone one. I'll have 2 good to go again, and then when the 22s are ready, you know, I'll have a couple, 2, 3 more.
Are you going to give the 22 male a chance at any of those females this year?
You know, I might, although I'm definitely going to pair the pair that produced these guys. I'm going to do that pair again. But with the other female, yeah, I may try 22 male with her.
That's
the
cool.
two-tone female, and see what happens.
So reds aren't in your future anytime soon, huh? No red neos for a while.
You know, I that was so much fun when you know, I traded Rico some Kofiau for a couple designers in, I don't know, 2010 or 11 or sometime, which is where I got the 03030, which David D now has.
Yeah.
Man, I bred that guy to a Kofiau, and got these little red aliens that were just awesome. They were the first little red neos I ever grew up. Yeah, that was one of the ones that David produced. He sent me back a couple offspring from that male, just so that I would have something.
From Dave as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yep.
0030.
Yep, that was one of the clutches that was sired by my blue boy. Yeah, he produced some nice animals.
Yeah, you said a lot of those animals went on to become blue, right? They took on.
Oh yeah. The so the aliens, I in 2013 I did this, and in 2014 there's one of them that was like the least blue of them all.
That's crazy.
Probably the bluest one went to Barry Manson. Sent it to him on breeding loan after the ICAST thing, and Unfortunately, Nido came to visit his collection, I believe, at that time, and that animal died. But there were a bunch of them that were actually bluer than the sire. It seems like the Kofiau genes had no effect at all. The Rico's blue line was dominant in every way.
Mm.
Really, the only thing that these little red alien looking things, to me, they were alien looking. The only thing they had from the Kofiau, from the dam, was like the temperament and some of the conformation, you know, the head and just the general look of them. But as far as the color and whatnot, man, they were like that blue dominated. Yeah, there's one of the nice offspring. That was 1307.
That was a red baby. That was a red baby.
Oh yeah, all of it is 100% red, and which was kind of bizarre because that male, Rico's blue line male, came from a mixed clutch. So it was a mixed clutch animal, red Neo from a mixed clutch paired with Kofiau, which of course are always yellow. Yeah. And they were 100% red both years. It was like, I don't know, 12, I don't know how many. It was a typical 12 or so clutch both years. And
that's a crazy looking animal right there, MJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's wild.
Yeah, man, they were fun. I had never hatched any red ones until those guys, and when the first ones came out of the egg, I called Rico and I said, "Man, these things look like little aliens." It was just cool as hell to see little red guys. But no, it would be fun. I would love to produce some more of those guys, but at this point, I don't have energy for more than like one project.
Well, so I think it's more important. I think it's more important, Chuck, for you to really just keep down on the Kofiau stuff.
Sure. Bill, I figure you and a good double handful of other guys got these under control.
Yeah.
And I figure I'll just focus on what I need to focus on here.
I would agree 100%.
If I ever get a sudden surge of energy again, and I'd like to get Gary to send me one of his Monoquari nice blue ones and produce some more aliens. That'd be fun.
Hell yeah.
So, okay, if the reds are aliens, what are the yellows to you? The yellows aren't aliens to you? They're what are they, fucking flowers?
Man, I got so used to looking at little, just generic little yellow hatchlings because, I bred Kofiau for a bunch of years before I produced those red ones. And I just got so used to seeing little yellow babies that when little red noses poked out, it just seemed extremely alien to me.
So it was too much. Like, you're more simple, is what you're saying. You want to?
I'm comfortable with that yellow thing going on.
What a unique guy. I like you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Good, Bill. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say maybe we could bring Chuck on and replace Marshall on the Tuesdays.
No, come on.
That's those are hard shoes to fill, dude.
That's not gonna happen.
We would need Chuck not to ever sell one of his yellow neonates. If he's willing to do that, if he's willing not to sell to the public like Marshall does, we could probably discuss something. I don't know.
I can't keep them all for sure.
But okay, so you don't have any red neonate snakes anymore, period, is what you're saying.
All I've got are Kofiau and my little Okatee corns.
Wow, that's cool.
Every year I hatch like one clutch of Okatees, and I just sold gave away and sold all those. Kept 3 of them so I could have a couple at the science lab at school.
Are you friends with Craig Trumbauer? Is that one of your boys?
I've known him forever, but I lived for a long time, and every summer from the time I was like 12, I went to Jasper County and hung out, with the local Okatee guys. I got strong ties there, and it's hard to beat a killer Okatee corn is an amazing animal.
Yeah.
So I just like having my Okatee corns. I'll always have a pair of them.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I don't have time. I really don't have time or energy for anything else.
I get it.
So with that being said, I mean, let's say this year you get both girls to go for you. With all the stuff you've been holding back, I mean, is that stuff you for sure you want to hold on to? But or will that maybe change if you start getting more production? Will you look at some of the holdbacks you've been raising up, maybe be considered about something letting some of that go in the future? What do you think? Like, or do you just
I mean, I will always be letting stuff go because I just have to keep my numbers to a manageable level. There's a limit to how much I can do right now.
I agree.
Well, it's also a bit of an insurance policy for the project.
It is, absolutely. I don't want all the eggs in one basket, because if something goes south with my basket, that would be that. So it was important to get a few groups established elsewhere so that, if anything did go wrong here, although not much can go wrong because I haven't had an animal come in here in many, many moons. I don't get animals coming in. So any issues I have will be created in-house, and I try to prevent that. I try to keep things nice and clean and sanitary, and I don't foresee any health problems, knock on wood. But with no animals coming in, I feel like I'm pretty safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, closed collections are where it's at.
And the fact that you're a yellow guy, I don't know, man. You got some of the best yellow you could get your hands on. I mean, you have a good reason to have a close collection at this point.
I do like, I had an affinity for yellow eyelash vipers back in the day when I really had just a collection of arboreal pit vipers, and the yellow schlegeli were like near and dear to my heart. And the first time, in the early 2000s, whenever these Kofiau started rolling in for the first time, I remember seeing them in I guess the expo was in Orlando at that time. I remember seeing them and thinking, damn, those things are like giant schlegeli. Those like giant yellow eyelash vipers. They're glowing. And, that was it. I had watched Eugene play with them for years and watched Rico starting to build his collection. And they were cool and all that. But I thought, eggs. I don't want to deal with hatching eggs. I like these live bearing, arboreal pit vipers. So, I appreciated them, but I just had never kept them until I saw those Kofiau, and I thought, man, I got to have them. I gotta have some of those guys. And that was that. That was the beginning of it, and I've had them ever since.
So, with that being said, as far as, you managing the overhead, going forward with all your productions, does it always look like you always keep the range at like 3 females a year, even with all your stuff that's about to be ready to breed here in the next couple years?
I think like 4 females going at one time is probably going to be about the limit. I don't think I could deal with more than 4 clutches, and God forbid they be giant clutches, all 4 of them. I would have to quit my job and just
it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job. Trust me, I know.
It is a time-consuming thing, and I know you do know. It absolutely eats up a lot of hours, especially in the spring, early summer. Getting those guys over the hump. It's a great deal of work.
And what is that?
It gets to be to where it gets to be more work. Takes the fun out of it when you
and you know what, absolutely I will never let it become too much like work.
I like it.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of energy there.
I do. I have a shit ton of energy.
Yeah, I used to have a shit ton of energy, but right now I got a limited amount, so I have to be very careful that it doesn't become like onerous.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be like work. So 4 females is going to be about my limit.
So remind me, Chuck, like that hump that you just discussed, like where do you feel like that hump lands with the neonate being like almost not having to worry about it anymore? Like,
so these little guys hatched in
July, right? Or no?
No. They hatched in May. May. Wait a minute. No, they didn't. Yeah, they did. They hatched right at the end of the school year. So they hatched in like late May, 20 something of May. And, they are all on auto feed now. I I'm trying to think of when they all finally came around. The two that were the last to come around were, guess which two?
The black
eyes.
You bet, and that I meant to mention that. They have those two animals were. You know how you generally have runners. Like I don't know what you guys have, but most of the Kofiau are runners. You go to first feeding trials, and man, they just bolt and they're thrashing around. You got a few like tuck and hide, but 90% of them are like hauling ass. These two guys stood their ground from day one, and they would strike and hit, but not take a damn pink. Totally different from all their siblings, which, were like flailing and fleeing. So these guys have been, you would think that they would have been the first to eat based on their stand their ground and strike. But no, they were the very last ones to come around, and they really have been on auto feed for, I don't know, like a couple weeks now. This is probably maybe the third week, maybe.
That's awesome. Which isn't that
May, June, July, August. It really has been like 4 months to where now I can go through and feed them in no time.
So were you assist feeding these then?
Say again?
Were you assist feeding these?
Absolutely. This entire club. Well, no, that's not true. One of them ate right off the bat. Number 5 took pinks right off the bat. The rest of them I assist fed from the first trial.
Wow.
So it was like 3, I don't know. I have to look at my cards, but they've all been taking pinks for a good while now, but they're just now getting to where you can just tease that, go left, go right, zoom by, and boom, they'll grab them.
No scenting,
which I consider auto feed.
Yeah. So no scenting, I'm assuming.
No scenting, no teasing. No. I don't have patience for all that.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Once they get to the point where you don't need to heat it up, you don't need to scent it, just fucking put it in their face.
Yeah. The heating up a coffee cup of water. No, we're past all that long time ago.
Thank God.
Now we're just cruising. But for the first 3 months, really, it's a hell of a lot of work, either assist feeding or heating up water, teasing,
So
taking an hour or more for one animal.
I had a lot of babies on my plate this year to establish, and I definitely want to give props to Bill for encouraging me not to waste any time, like with the trouble. Like when a trouble baby, when this one's going to give you a run for your money, just fucking assist feed it. Don't waste any time. And doing that, man, I would say majority of them, it only took maybe 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden they became something that they weren't before. And I was
exactly. I would say on average for me, it's like 5, maybe 6 assist feeds, and then they'll take a ping. And I've never once, I don't know of any drawback to doing that. And I've been like going straight to assist feed the ones that don't eat for years and years and years, and I've never had like a negative consequence. So I don't see a downside to just bypassing all that arduous tease feeding and failing and hours and hours and hours of frustration where you want to fling them against the wall. I don't see any reason not to just assist feed right off the bat the ones that don't eat.
Yeah.
Especially if you know they're
my
going to be
personal
a problem,
experience,
right?
that's where I am.
Yeah.
But how long have you been comfortable doing that for now, Chuck? Like as far as like you just not wasting any time going straight to assist feeding. Like did Rico recommend that after a while, or did you figure that out?
2006, 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, and that first clutch, man, I thought I was going to just watch all of them starve to death. And Eugene was like typical Eugene Bissett. He's like, yeah, they'll come around. Don't worry about it. They can go a long time. Don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then finally I said, Rico, look, I'm worried about these guys. How the hell long are they going to live without food? And that's when he finally just casually said, well, you may want to try assist feeding them. You may want to go ahead and assist feed them. It's like, well, goddamn, why didn't you just suggest that like 3-4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I since that first clutch, I mean, I used to have a lot more patience and I would spend a lot more time trying to get them going,
Yeah.
but pretty straight away, I just went straight to, you don't want to eat. Okay, here's a pink head. You're going to eat it whether you want to or not.
Yeah, with some experience, you just kind of know when you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Assist feed them, right? Some
Yeah.
of them you assist feed earlier than others, just based on their response.
Right. Yeah. Usually I can tell if one may come around, I'll give it another chance to come around. But generally, like those runners, that very quintessential runners, they're not going to start eating for a while. So you might as well go ahead and start getting some meals in them, get them used to feeling food go down, getting them used to work those jaws back and forth. And, soon you're good to go.
You do once a week with that, Chuck? Like you just assist feeding once a week? Or
yeah, with the little guys, I'm doing once a week.
Same with you, Bill?
Yeah, once a week. I mean, I think if time dictated, once every 5 days would be good. But
I was going to say early on, I was more like every 4 or 5 days. As soon as they defecate, I would give them another one.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, every 5 days, once a week, no problem.
And it is something, because I talked to Ryan Young about this as far as assist feeding, where like once you assist feed, you got to commit to it. Like it's something where like they almost depend on having food on a regular basis now as soon as you get something down their stomach. If not, you'll see them decline pretty quickly after that.
Well, I don't know. I've never given them the opportunity to decline. Once once I start assisting, they're going to get assisted every, 5 to 7 days.
Yeah. And to follow up on what Chuck said, once I make the decision to assist feed, I may not even offer them food. I mean, I may just assist feed them once a week for a month.
Right.
Yeah. Offer them food.
Yeah.
And then, just you kind of base it on their progression. Striking, wrapping, dropping will then maybe be a little more tolerant. But if they just continue to run, just assist feed them for a month and then try to feed them.
Amen.
I think it just stresses them out to try to feed them.
Yeah.
And you're beating them off the perch and all that kind of nonsense.
Because they clearly don't get it. So when they don't get it, they don't get it. It's like you're beating them to fucking do something they don't know what they're supposed to do yet.
I 100% agree with Bill on that. You're just stressing them out, and you might as well just pick the little bastards up and feed them.
Yeah. And what's your technique with the pinky heads? Because goddamn, that shit could be messy. So I'm curious.
It is nasty. It's nasty as hell. Somewhere I've got some pictures there on my Facebook page of me like holding one with a pink in its mouth. Yeah, I just guillotine those heads. I've got little surgical scissors, and
you just do one head per feeding, Chuck?
Yeah. Probably could do more than one, but I tend to do like not a little 1 day old red head. I'll go ahead and do like a, medium size, a good size head so that it makes a decent size meal.
If you can get a true red, like a day old, you can assist feed the entire thing.
Yeah. But you have to get it halfway down their fucking throat.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You have to get it more than halfway down. You have to get it all the way down.
All the way down.
Yeah. I've not had a lot of luck with that, Bill. I've tried with those little brand new reds. I've tried like hell, and it's just that they're so much easier for them to dislodge. Once if you put them back down, even if you've missed it and everything's good, they can so easily dislodge it. Whereas a pink head that's in their mouth, it's really more trouble. It's more trouble to dislodge than to swallow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't get leverage on
I
anything.
could hold them. I could wait until there's some forward progression and just wait them out until they started swallowing it, and it would probably work. But again, my patience has just grown like less and less as every year goes by.
Yeah.
So and I figure a good size pink head for 4 or 5 assists is going to be fine.
Yeah.
They seem to do fine.
So Marshall might be vending at this Atlanta show coming next year. and hopefully he's going to take a bunch of chondros to make it look like this.
Yeah, yeah. There we go.
Expo, the Southeast Reptile Expo.
The
Hopefully-
day 2010.
Man,
Yeah.
do you know? I went to the Daytona show in August. I think I saw like exactly 2 chondros at the entire freaking thing there in Daytona with 2 humongous, gigantic halls full of animals. I think I saw like 2 chondros the whole place.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, people just don't go.
It's getting less and less too. You know, I feel like 2017 when I was really kind of making my ways at all these shows, I saw a lot more imported chondros at tables. But now you hardly ever see them. Like you'll still see them, but they're just not there as much as you used to see them.
I mean, Underground used to show up and have like the jars suspended hanging from the little hooks.
That's cool.
Man, this year they didn't even do that. I mean, it's like, nobody had them. There's like literally 2 people had like a random, I don't know, Biak or Aru or something out there.
Dude,
It was so anticlimactic.
What's up with this animal, Chuck? Holy
There's Zeus, man. There's Zeus.
That's Zeus. Wow, this thing is legendary.
Hell yeah, man.
How do you have experience with Zeus? Did you have Zeus?
Oh, that's
no. When I was helping Rico, wait a minute. So how old is Zeus? When was he hatched?
Oh, a long time ago.
This is 2013. This picture, and he looks already about 2-3 years old right here.
Yeah, a long time ago.
2013.
Look at this snake. Oh my god.
Man, I remember being at Rico's and we went up hanging out looking at animals, and I remember him pulling that out and going, check this out. This might be the nicest one I've ever produced. And I was like, damn, man, that's a gorgeous animal. That's little Zeus.
Where does Zeus come from? Can you remind me or refresh me like the history with Zeus and how he even came about?
I wish I could. He was like the quintessential fruit of his blue line, which involved some of Gary's Manoquaris, I think, and then a whole host of other blue line animals from who knows where.
I thought Zeus ended up in Frank's. I thought Zeus ended up in Frank's collection, and then Zeus.
Sure, he did.
Yes,
he got a clutch out of it, right?
That's correct. Frank Catton.
Yeah,
I believe at one time had Zeus. I want to say Brian Fisher was involved in that as well. I may be way off base there, but I know Frank was as well.
Wasn't Brian the one that bought him initially?
Brian has been in the chat earlier tonight. I don't know if he still is now, but I want to say his name was associated with Zeus in some form or fashion.
I thought he was the one who bought him initially, and then he went from there. Someone.
So check this out. I'm pretty sure this is Zeus's offspring right here in Socrates' collection. I'm pretty sure it's this guy right here.
Damn. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that one. And then look at this one.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
The best of the best right there.
Yeah, there were a lot of relatives of the 09 030, the one that I sold David, that were just bluer than hell, and they had that nice amount of black. They weren't super black, but they had those black highlights. If we could go back, I probably would have said, hey, Rico, I think I might need a couple of these guys. But, because I remembered like gazing going, damn, man, those things are nice. And they were related to the one that, he traded me for Kofiau. The old
you should have traded a couple more.
Yeah, should have. And he was like, I was like, well, so he was like, well, what do you want? I'll trade you whatever you want. I was like, well, hell, I don't know. And I had my son with me at the time. And my son, Charlie, was like, well, how about like a blue line and maybe a yellow line? And Rico was like, all right, well, come on over here. And he's like pulling tubs out. And he's like, well, this would be a nice blue animal. And Fuck. I mean, I definitely got the better end of that deal. But yeah, I got a couple gorgeous animals from him. And that blue, the 10030 1030, man, he was a great animal. He was a beautiful, just wonderful animal. Temperament like a Kofiau.
I think
And he would breed with a rope. If you dangled a piece of rope in there, he would lock up with it. There he is.
Is that it?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
He just had a little bit of the nice black highlights, but his, Rico had, I don't think they were siblings, but they were definitely related. And they had like thrice, 4 times as much black, and just gorgeous animals. But that guy right there was gorgeous. He was like 3 in that picture, I believe.
Wow,
And he just got nicer looking with age.
Yeah.
All those ones we've looked at remind me a lot of, was it 05 188, which is like the I'm pretty sure that's his.
It's wild to me, Chuck. You don't want to do this still. Like, why don't you want to carry like this?
05 188. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, that's like it looks more black than Zeus. Looks kind of like the one from Socrates' page, but it's got to be in that
in that time range.
Yeah.
I've got that's an animal. Wow, blast from the past.
Look at Buddy Buscemi right here, Bill.
That was an animal that actually I bought from Mark Spataro, and paired her with a male Kofiau, and that's like, that female laid the most beautiful eggs I've ever seen in my entire life. They were humongous, pearly white, beautiful eggs. Precisely 4 of them hatched out of 12. Nicest eggs I've ever seen in my life. They all went full term. I pipped them right on time, everything I typically would have done, and they just, like, 4 of them came out. The rest of them were dead and fully developed in the egg. And then she died, like, I don't know, weeks after she laid.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a, like, sad little chapter right there. But yeah, but they sure were beautiful eggs.
But you were able to see some offspring from this snake.
Yes, I had some offspring. You know what? They were just not nearly as spectacular as the aliens. It was a mixed clutch. There was like 1 red, 3 yellow, I think, or I don't know. That's one of the aliens. That's one of the blue boy Kofiau. It's 00. It was like that was 2013. They would be those were the 001, 002. Those were the double O's. Yeah, I don't know if there's somewhere there are pictures of those guys, but they didn't really develop into anything spectacular. That was a calico. That was actually a pretty nice female from Mark, which had potential to produce something pretty special, but
it looks calico.
Yeah, it had some great genetics. That was the yellow line animal that Rico traded for Kofiau. Another spectacular animal. So I sold her before I bred her.
Got it. Okay.
I'm trying to remember who bought that animal, because I never saw what she produced or what came of her.
That was a red neonate?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she was spectacular. That was Red Light Girl. She had a big red patch on her head that never went away.
Look at the white in this. Like, okay, so this whole big white blotchy thing in a snake like this, I mean, you ever want to shoot for a project that has more white blotches like this at all, Chuck? Like, I mean, because I find it very interesting when you see like white,
So that was one of my yellow for life founder males. That man, that was we called him the rapist. any female that went near him, boy, he was on her in a heartbeat. Yeah, I don't know why he had so much white. There was another one from that group that I didn't get to buy. When I bought my founder group, there was one that had it was yellow with blue markings. And the guy, of course, wanted a good deal more money for it.
Right.
And I thought, well, you know what? I'm bound to produce one eventually. Nope, not yet.
Wow.
But that guy was absolutely gorgeous. That was Daffodil was his name. He came with that name. They came with yellow rose, daffodil, dandelion. What was the other one? Yeah, there's yellow rose. God, what a great snake. That's the one that laid 6, if not 7 in a row. And man, she would have laid another 6 or 7 in a row.
That's the pure Kofiau right there?
Pure Kofiau, yeah.
Wow,
And
that's pretty, dude.
too, she was like a more yellow than not, but a changeling. And after her second clutch, man, she went full hormonal blue. And there's a couple other shots of her like a couple years down the road where she's just blue as hell.
Yeah, I saw one down here with her on, I think this is her right here.
Yeah, there we go. That's probably, damn, I don't have those labeled. That was probably in I don't know, 2012 or
2013, November
2013. Yeah. She was absolutely gorgeous. I love that snake.
And what happened to her? She ended up passing away eventually? Or
Nido took all the founders, all the offspring, all the John Lingo animals, all the Rico animals. I had a huge, diverse colony of Kofiau when Nido came and rocked my world.
Son of a bitch.
And the only thing that survived were the eggs in the incubator, which hatched and are the basis for what I have now.
Well, that ate better than nothing, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Listen, Chuck, it rocked your world and many
lots of people
of your generation.
Yeah.
All over the world, right? Because Nido just wasn't here in America. Like that was, it happened in Europe and Australia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially with all the exportation that was going on at that time.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons why chondros to this day are still really so rare.
Yeah.
All things considered, if Nido hadn't happened, these things could be more like ball pythons.
You may be right there. And yeah, my buddy Elliot Jacobson at the vet school here, he had a good handle on there were a lot of animals sent this way for necropsy or for treatment or whatever for research purposes. And he would say, oh yeah, I got some from from Maryland, from this group, or from all up and down the eastern seaboard. And it was like, damn,
all of them. Yeah.
I mean, it was all the big collections were, it touched everybody to one extent or another.
Absolutely.
It just touched me to a gigantic extent. But yeah, here we are. We still got them, so we won't complain.
That is an interesting point, though, that you bring up, Bill, because you think about all the animals that were lost during Nido, and
thousands.
There's a lot of genetic potential there that set us back years at least.
More than a couple of years, we took generations out of our progression. But luckily, now that's I'm not going to say it's behind us, but certainly not nearly the issue that it was, a decade ago.
So what do you attribute the lack of Nido in recent years?
It's easy.
Testing.
Easy.
Testing and awareness.
Yeah, awareness and testing. Yep.
Talking about it, knowing what to look for, not wasting time. When you see something, test it. Testing's been everything, I think. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on 1 second.
Well, I just had it's just very somebody posed that question to me, like, well, is it just not was it like a big explosion with animals being imported? Did it boom and bust type thing, or what's the deal? Why are we not seeing it now? And yeah, I guess testing for sure. Awareness had to have a huge effect.
You know,
Awareness, and you got to remember too that when all that happened, there was a lot of breeding loans and animals getting passed around and getting shipped from here to there, and that didn't help either.
Yeah, and I think all that is slowed down enormously at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's far less of that going on.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think the testing, by far, was the best thing that came along in our game.
Yeah.
The ability to test for NIDO, because so many of those animals were not symptomatic.
Right.
But they passed that nidovirus on, and most animals are susceptible to it, and most animals don't do well once they're infected with it. But absolutely, testing and awareness.
Yeah,
I can tell you, it used to just be, chondros had respiratory infections. That just was the way that it was.
Sure.
I haven't had a respiratory infection in a green tree python in 10 years.
Nor have I.
And
So
so
it's been a while since I've had to treat one for sure.
It's been 3 years for me. 3 years.
I mean, it's just, it just doesn't even really happen these days with proper, with proper husbandry and testing. It just doesn't happen. They're as solid and they're as solid as any other, species we work with. They used to be considered a high, what would you call it? Advanced species, right?
High, not high maintenance, but fragile or
an advanced species.
Right.
Now an 8-year-old can take care of a chondro.
Yeah.
I mean, just give it the proper conditions. There's
reasonable parameters.
They're so bulletproof now.
Yeah.
So you try to breed them.
Breeding still, breeding is still, we still have a lot to learn about breeding chondros, but boy, testing
one thing at a time.
What's that?
One thing at a time.
Right. Let's just let's get just maintaining them first, right? Which I think we've done a great job of doing.
Right, because where the standards are at now, you would say like it's going to be pretty fucking hard to have another NIDO experience like we've had before. I'm not going to say it's impossible to get it, but if we stay on top of this whole shit of like quarantine, test, and all that stuff, like we've been preaching about, we should always be safe. I feel like.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a decade now, and I mean, you just look at people's collections now, and they're thriving.
Yeah, nobody's going to get blindsided like everyone did at that with that. That was a blindside event.
Yep, for sure.
And again, it all kind of started with, I don't want to say this one person, but from what I know, it was a person who had majority of this that was being dispersed out to different collections, and a lot of these animals just did work in all those collections. And
it's like Marshall said, a decade ago, this breeding loan thing was just so
prolific.
It was just such a popular thing to do, and there was, the top guys at the time, we're doing all these massive breeding loans, the coalition, and it was just I think you could do it. I think you could do it today and be more successful. But the problem is, even today, getting adults established into a new collection is a high risk proposition.
I agree.
Even without NIDO.
I agree.
These people that think, they can bring in 30 adult green trees and be successful, I think that even this day without NIDO is a recipe for disaster.
That's a definite recipe for that's risky business for sure and beyond.
Yeah, they just don't typically do well in different environments once they reach that adult age. And at least in my experience and experience of other people that I trust.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, right? It's like you're playing with the odds, but you'll see the results. It's not going to be in your favor for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen successfully for sure. I know people that do it every year. They get adult animals in and they breed them and produce them. But for every time it's successful, I can tell you 5 times it's not.
Yeah. I have one. The only adult import I ever got from from the 2017 or 2018 year is still here. I have her. She's never laid a clutch, but she's alive, and she came in as an adult. But I think all the other 8 or 9 that I maybe acquired that were adults never hit the freezer.
I can, we preach this many times. If you want to be successful in the long run in this game,
Let's raise them up.
Get neos, get subadults, establish them in your facility or place for a few years, and then breed them. That's the road.
Especially when you get it from somebody reputable, because I feel like that USCBB blood really pays for itself. Like if you get a really nice bloodline of USCBB to breed for you, you'll see it in the babies. And I'm seeing that from some of the stuff I got from your mail this year, Bill, and from Mark Hager. Like, man, I've only had pure locality stuff under my belt, but some of this designer stuff that has good potent blood in it, like that has strong bloodline, you could see it in the babies, and it's awesome. And so, I mean, I think it's worth, going that route for sure. All day.
It's worth the 3-year investment, right?
Yeah,
yep.
100%.
Yeah. Unless you happen to have a locality where it's impossible to get.
For sure. No,
then you got to break down and roll the dice, apparently.
Absolutely. Listen, there's, like we said before, for your rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
And under the right scenario, you have to do that. And I'm all for that. Fresh blood, imported blood, all that. Just know that it comes with a risk.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I'd be scared to death to bring anything in at this point, to be honest with you. But I would probably have someone else bring it in and like get it established and make sure it's all good to go, and then I'd get it. Then I'd bring it in.
I think you can find plenty of guinea pigs out there to do that for you.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I could talk somebody into it.
Patrick Holmes for sure is one of them. So he'll take it all day. All right, listen, wrap up topic of the episode. I'll go first, and then we'll hit Bill and Marshall. And of course, I want to just give it to you. If you have anything you want to close off with, Chuck, we'll let you have the floor. But my question to you right now, Chuck, obviously you just got done saying how closed off everything is and you're happy with what you have, but let's kind of pretend we were taking things back to more of the beginning years, but you had all the knowledge, but you're in the place where you want to add stuff. What kind of biosecurity measures would you be taking now that you know all this stuff? Like, and mainly for anyone out there who's new coming into it, planning on adding a lot more chondros, like what are some tips on biosecurity out there for any new up and coming chondro keepers?
Just what you just talked about. Buy captive bred from a reputable breeder, raise them up, and then keep the damn doors closed. Get a nice group, and then don't keep adding animals, because every time you add one, you're risking the whole group.
Yeah.
That would be my little words of wisdom is, once you get a nice group, close the door and work with it.
And what's crazy? It's like, like I said, the buyer trigger happiness is a real thing. Like, people don't know when to stop. They just keep adding more and adding more. And it's like, dude, like adding more doesn't get you quicker to breeding.
I understand the impulse, because you see all these animals and it's like, damn, I'd love to have that.
Yeah,
I agree. I see animals I'd love to have all the time, but once you have a nice group that you've invested a good bit of coin in and you've got them all established, no, I say close it down and work what you got.
Bill, am I wrong, Bill? But do you kind of see some people almost treating this like a rat race? Like they're like in a hurry to like go everywhere, which is I get that's a part of the excitement being new, but that's not really ideal, you wouldn't say, right, Bill?
I mean, I think if you do it right, it's okay for people to, be enthusiastic. My big concern is don't overspend what you can't afford to acquire.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could acquire 10 babies, 20 babies, 30 babies, that come from a reputable source and do well.
Yeah.
Just don't overspend, your limits, and just this is a very long-term game, So go easy, go slow. Quarantine, get from a reputable source. I think it can be done successfully, but that's not, if you do it right, it's not a quick path to success.
Right. And I've had my successes. Most of my success has come with small numbers when I've focused on one project rather than, have like
shotgun.
Yeah, have your carpets going here and your chondros going here, and like one of the other projects. I had to like with the Waggler eye back in the day, with the Schlegel eye, with all the different projects over the years, when I've done my best is when I cleaned house and focused on one thing.
Me too.
Like pick something that I really want to do and then focus on that one thing, and you get all the other stuff out of the way.
Me too, Chuck. I can't agree more.
Yeah.
I'll triple down on that one. All right, Bill, what you got for Chuck? Wrap up topic or question?
Well, listen, Chuck, I don't really have a wrap-up question for you, but instead, I come from a family of educators. My wife and my daughter are both educators. So I just want to thank you for doing that. It is a profession of endless, thanklessness.
Yeah.
And hours.
Yeah.
And so I just think coming from somebody, a family of educators, I just want to thank you for doing that. Guys, can you imagine having Chuck Vogel as your fucking science teacher?
That'd be his best friend.
I should have sent. I should have.
Can you imagine that?
I've got a picture from I don't know, a month ago. I lied. I have my Okeetees, and I also held on to one Janai, a northern Mexican pine. I had a gorgeous pair of them that my buddy in North Carolina gave me in 2015, and I bred them multiple years, but I just didn't have time for them. So I've moved them all out except for the male, which is like 6.5 feet, and it's glowing yellow with beautiful black markings. It's a beautiful animal. And I took it to school, and I've got pictures of 6 kids holding it, just glowing. Yeah, well, there it is. But I've got pictures of that guy in the hands of a whole string of 5th graders, and man, they're glowing, and they can't get enough of it. So I've got one of my breeder male Okeetee and 2 yearlings, and then we're weighing and measuring some of the babies from this year, the 3 babies that hatched. And man, they absolutely
so cool.
love it. Even the kids who are at first oh, snakes, ooh.
Yeah.
Give me a couple of weeks, and it's now they come knocking at the door after school wanting to come see Jackers the corn snake.
It's so special, Chuck. It's so special. Every year I bring a ball pythons up to my wife's school for career day. I'm a career snake breeder.
Yeah.
And so for career day, I bring these ball pythons up there, and these kids go absolutely crazy.
They love it. They go crazy. And you know what? Shockingly, Bill, this year, my last school, there were maybe 3 kids at least that had snakes at home. Their parents, had snakes, and they had their pet, whatever. They had their ball pythons or their corn snakes or whatever. And again, this year, to my amazement, there's another 2 or 3 kids that, they'll come and tell you, oh, I have a pet snake too. And sometimes it's I'm sure you do. Sometimes it's just wishful thinking, but actually there's several that do in fact have genuine live animals at home.
Yeah.
But it's fun to especially those guys that are really negative and really fearful at first, and then they end up being the ones that just can't get enough of it. They're totally you got them for life.
Well, Chuck, you have my utmost respect for what you do every day, and I'm thankful that you do it. And man, just keep grinding, brother.
Well, I appreciate it, Bill. That means a lot. And yeah, I love my job, and I'll keep doing it as long as I can keep on kicking.
Awesome. All right, what do you got, Marshall? Good luck topping Bill's.
Yeah, I'm not going to top that. But early on, you mentioned that you had some trouble with incubation using Rico's old incubators, and I'm curious to see if you figured out what the issue was and what did you do to change it.
Marshall, I have no idea what the issue was, but 2 years in a row, I watched perfectly good clutches just peter out over the course of the incubation in that great big habitat system incubator that I know Rico hatched millions of snakes in.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do to change it? I'm not going to use that anymore, because after 2 years, it holds an absolute spot on perfect temperature. Humidity's perfect. I don't know if the years that it's spent in the garage up there, I don't know if there's like some sort of like mildew, mold, or something in the walls, but there's something going on with that incubator, and I don't know what it is, and I'm not gonna put another clutch in it. So if anybody wants a really big, really nice piece of history, I got an incubator for you.
So Chuck, what incubator are you using?
So I'll probably go back to, I'll probably buy a new sea serpents that I had really good luck with a 48-inch sea serpents unit. But what I've gone to in the interim has been my good old like AV Chondro incubator.
Oh,
big
wow.
ass white,
That's old school.
You know. Oh yeah, it's old school, big time. But you know what? It works, Marshall. I've I hatched like 80 to 90%.
Yeah,
100% sometimes. I can't complain with the results. But yeah, for this season, I'm gonna put another sea serpents in the room and go with the tried and true.
Nice.
Yeah,
Badass.
I would love to know what the hell's going on with the old habitat systems, because I just can't fathom what the deal is. But after 2 years in a row, with perfectly good eggs, there's got to be something going on with it.
Yeah,
it's a mystery to me. I don't know.
Right. Well, Chuck, is there anything you want to close off with, Chuck? The floor is yours. If there's anything you'd like to talk about.
Man, I'm just glad to be alive and kicking and being here. I appreciate you guys asking me to be on here.
Yeah,
I wish I had earth-shaking words of wisdom to share, but you know what?
You already have, Chuck.
I'm just doing what I've been doing for a long time, and it works. So
it's refreshing, man, hearing stuff from you and just having you back and actually getting to see you this time. This is epic.
Well, unfortunately, it's to the point now where I don't do the meticulous record keeping and I don't do the like meticulous feeding schedule, and I don't do a lot of things that I probably should do and used to do. Yeah. Because I just know when the animals need to eat, and I know when I need to ramp up feeding, and I just know when to do stuff because I've been doing it for a while.
But I got to ask you though, Chuck, do you recommend someone doing that today? Like, if someone who has a lot of clutch,
what? Hell no! Don't do what I do. No, absolutely, dude. Absolutely, do better. Absolutely, I'm just kind of working on muscle memory here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you gotta, I used to keep so much better notes when I was first starting off, but I mean that's how you learn, right?
It's how you learn. Yeah, and I mean, I remember way back in the day when I first met Eugene Bissett and went over to his colony of rhinos and gaboons, and he had the most meticulous record keeping system I've ever seen in my life. Everything was recorded, everything was organized to the hilt. And I used to do a pretty good job of it. I used to keep track of things, and obviously the more data you have, the better equipped you are to deal with when things go sideways. But as things do, we get to the point where we sometimes forget to write down a shed, and we don't once they start feeding, we don't record every feeding. I'm getting lazy in my old age.
I've gotten the cards mixed up before. Like, I've tried really hard, but then something will happen where I'm like, oh my God, I've been marking the wrong card this whole time or something. And then I just throw them in the air and say, what the fuck? They're all eating. I don't care. They're eating. You know what I mean?
Listen,
I know exactly what you mean.
I don't even send feeding cards.
Me neither. They're not accurate. I'm sorry.
Because my cards are so jacked up. There's shit all over.
Well, yeah. In my feeding cards, it'll go down a column over here, and then it'll be sideways over here, and then there'll be some stuff circled over here. So I have to pull the most pertinent stuff out and just have a synopsis of the history of the animal.
Listen, I'm a doctor. Nobody can read my handwriting anyway.
Well, then what's the point? Well, I'm left-handed and I broke my left arm, so nobody can read mine either. So
Okay, real quick before I let you go, Chuck, and you might remember this because I remember geeking out on some of Rico's old videos on YouTube, I remember seeing him scanning. Like he had a scanning system.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
What was the scanning system back then? Like
It was a
what was-
freaking barcode, man. He introduced the barcode system like way back before barcodes were even a thing.
wow, dude.
It seems like, and you know, those animals that he traded me back in like 2010 or whenever that was, man, I have like the most beautiful printouts where he just scanned the damn card and the printer went wild and spit out like 3 pages and every detail from the minute it hatched.
Yeah.
I've got meticulous, and it had pedigrees and every bit of information you can possibly imagine. Rico, you know, I think was also influenced by Eugene's like overzealous desire to record every bit of information possible,
Right.
which is good. You know, that's to his credit. And also, if I had, you know, with the number of animals that he had, you kind of have to have some kind of system down like that, or good Lord, you know, how would you keep
good
track
luck
of,
remembering all of it.
how are you going to keep track of 500 animals, 600 animals? It's not possible. But in my little corner of the world, I can kind of keep most of it in my head and jot down my scribble notes, and it works out just fine.
Yeah. I've been telling myself, like, you know, if I keep this under a number where I could remember everything, I should be okay. But that's when I'm just so up to my fucking head with like trying to keep notes of everything. But yeah,
But to anyone else, I highly recommend that you do not do what I do. I highly recommend that you have an organized system and you record everything.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yeah, there's this popular scanning system called Clutch for the ball python world, which is awesome. And I hope to God they open it up for the chondro world at some point, because I feel like an organization app like that is made for chondro people. Like it's pretty fucking awesome to see. So, but yeah, I think we can all do better, like you said, Chuck, day by day. Well, listen, again, thank you so much for your time and everything Bill said, man. I definitely back all that up, man. We appreciate your time of you spending here with all of us, Chuck. So thank you so much.
No worries.
Great to have you back. But give it up. It's a wrap for Chuck Vogel, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll post updates of these mutants.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. Hey, you're the
No
man,
worries.
Chuck. Enjoy your night. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, guys.
Peace. That was legend, man. That was awesome. That was a great episode.
Yeah. Chuck's the man. What's somebody to look up to? I mean, he's an OG. He's still in the game. You know, you think about it, there's not a lot of OGs still in the game. I mean, you got guys like Chuck, you got Buddy,
Got Marshall.
you got Marshall. Who?
Eugene. I mean, there's still
Eugene's not in the game. He's not producing chondros.
But
he's still producing snakes.
Yeah,
maybe not chondros, but
he's still around. But you know what's crazy? He seems young, but Dave D goes back pretty far too in this shit.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like about almost the same time about you, right, Bill? 2010.
I think probably about the same time as me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, you know, again, third generation, really. If you think about like Trooper, Rico, being first generation guys, Marshall would probably be a second generation guy. Chuck, first or second generation, and I'm probably third generation.
Yeah. I think I've asked this question before. Is that Bill Brandt in this picture with Chuck and and Rico? Is this at Bill Brandt's place? I'm assuming.
Marshall.
You know, I don't know. I think maybe. I'm not sure though.
That doesn't look like Rico's old place, because you've been there, right?
No, that's not Rico's place.
Okay, so that's Bill Brandt's place then. That is Bill Brandt. Okay. Yeah, you know, listen, at the end of the day, guys, I love because of Forrest, rest in peace, you know, he taught me so much about the history that he knew, which caught my interest of the hobby. And I can't help but to love stories about Rico, you know, like you hear all these stories about Rico, which I've always admired Marshall being as close as he was to Rico. But then you have Chuck, like, who was fucking boys with Rico, you know what I mean?
And so was Gary. Gary and Rico were brothers. And I think, you know, we've talked about it a lot before. I think it's the one thing that separates our community from all of the others.
Yeah, the history.
Is that we pay homage to our founders.
The OGs.
Yep. The OGs. They're so important. They're everything that I have and that I've done. I've, been so blessed to produce all of it because of those guys. My path has been so easy, and it's been because of those guys.
What's crazy is and this is exactly what you said. We all have some sort of an OG that inspired us to do what we're doing today in the Chondro game. Marshall has Trooper and Eugene that he said multiple times, and you have Buddy and other people, Bill. But now you guys are those people. I hope you guys know that, man. You guys are the one inspiring so many fucking keepers we have today. I've been one of them, Bill. I've said today, the very first design I ever saw was the picture of you that you had with sickness in your arm, which is you could Google that picture. It's a pretty fucking iconic photo, but I think it's an honor to have both you guys a part of what we have here because you guys are those OGs now. I hate to call you old, but it is what it is. That's what you guys are. So it should go full circle every time, right? We should, and I want to be you guys someday. Obviously with what we do, you get older, and so being an OG to somebody in this game or being somebody to mentor, I think that's what it's all about, and that's what the Chondro game's all about, is passing everything that we have down to that next person.
It's one of the most special things about what we do.
It is. It's the best.
I'm humbled every day by messages that I get from people that either like my projects, like my animals, want to acquire animals. What a blessing. And it's only because of the guys that came before us.
Imagine if Marshall would sell a snake. He could be just as thankful as all, me and you, Bill. We sell snakes. Marshall.
Well, I saw plenty of snakes.
I know. I'm at Chondro
this week.
Marshall's biding his time.
He's like, are you kidding me? I've been blowing ball pythons out left and right.
Marshall's biding his time.
Hey, Marshall, dude, you're going to be missed this weekend, bro, for sure. Bill, I can't wait to see you.
I got a little bit of FOMO now that it's so close.
It's all right. We'll make it happen.
4 days, bro, and I will see you, and we will celebrate, and we will have a fucking epic time.
I cannot wait. And we'll probably FaceTime Marshall just to rub in his face. So we'll make sure we do that. But guys, Red Mountain Herps on IG, and go subscribe. Phoenix Reptiles, one of the best in the game. I appreciate you guys both. But give it up. It's wrap for Marshall and Bill, ladies and gentlemen.
We will see you this weekend.
See you in Chicago, buddy.
MJ, are you gonna do an episode live from
Friday night? Yeah, that's why I asked you what time you get in Friday, because I want you to sit down with us Friday night in the lobby. So we'll be live in the lobby. So
we'll do it. We'll see you then.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you.
See y'all.
Peace. All right. Thank you so much, guys. What a great episode. Chuck Vogel, thank you, man. That was iconic. This will all be out on all audio platforms. Just to remind you guys, I kind of get asked quite a bit when these come out on audio platforms. About 24 hours after the live is when you could find all the episodes on Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So just to remind you guys, and if you want more behind the scenes, more exclusive access to what I have going on, breeding projects, all that good stuff, come join the Trap Talk Patreon family. Click the very first link in the description below. Join the Discord and the amazing Instagram group chat. Shout out all my trappers, by the way, man. You guys are awesome. I see you guys in the chats and all the support. You guys are beautiful. And let me know if you're going to Tinley, NARBC, the biggest reptile show for us breeders every year, man. It's the Super Bowl shows. I cannot wait. I'll be there. Like I said, we're going live Friday from the lobby. So I'll be going live right there at the hotel lobby that's connected to the show. Got plenty of awesome people that are going to be stopping by. So be ready, man. It's going to be awesome. And also, I got an awesome podcast happening this Thursday night. So I'm releasing that this week. So just be ready. And again, appreciate all the love and support. Please check out all my sponsors in the description below. Appreciate all my sponsors for the support. Have a good night. And I cannot wait to see you guys at Tinley. Let's go. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors. Green tree pythons, emerald tree boas, and plenty other arboreal snakes have been quite the popularity here at the Trap Talk Reptile Network, which brings me to today's sponsor, the Reptile Perch. Head over to the reptileperch.com and Reptile Perch on Instagram. See what type of design PVC perch is best for your arboreal reptile. But first and foremost, I would also check out David Brom's Green Tree Python availability on the website. And you can also check out his Instagram just to stay current on any projects or any productions that he posts. Thank you so much, David Brahms, for your ongoing support. Looking forward to seeing what you have to show in the 2025 season. When you think about building a good community and being a leader of that community, nobody comes to mind better than Mark Hager over at Texas Chondros. That's right. Make sure you head over to TX Chondros on Instagram and also head over to Mark's website. See what he has available green tree python wise, and be ready for quite the 2025 green tree python breeding season out of Mark Hager. He's a veteran in the green tree python game, one of the best and nicest breeders in the green tree python game. He's been putting on the whole state of Texas for as long as I've known him. So if you want to see all the amazing other chondro keepers out of the state of Texas, another good reason to go follow Mark Hager over at TX Chondros on Instagram. And again, head over to his website, texaschondros.com. You can find all the links in the description below. Thank you so much, Mark Hager, for supporting the trap. One of the biggest growths we have in the reptile industry today are the rare species of reptiles that aren't worked with. That's right. That's why I went ahead and partnered up again with Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. Brian works with species such as kahua geckos, gargoyle geckos, all species of tree monitors. He works with abronia and many other cool species geckos that you can check out all on his website. Head over to sundownreptiles.com, see what he has available. Brian's one of the best doing it in the reptile industry today. He's been on the show multiple times, so make sure you check out all of Brian Susan's episodes on Trap Talk Reptile Network. But more importantly, for the highest quality of captive bred reptiles, make sure you head over to sundownreptiles.com and make sure you give him a follow on Instagram. Thank you again, Brian Susan over at SUNDOWN Reptiles. One of the things I love about being a part of the reptile industry is all the learning, okay? Learning can be fun, and I can prove that to you. Thank you so much to today's sponsor, Gary Scavino over at GS Reptiles. I highly recommend you head over to his YouTube channel, follow all this man's content when it comes to learning about rare species of snakes you could be keeping in the hobby, and also just finding out how easy a lot of these rare species of snakes are to keep in general. So thank you so much, Gary Scavino of GS Reptiles. Again, head over to his YouTube channel. Also head over to his Instagram to be on top of all of his current work and be ready for a big year over at GS Reptiles. Thank you so much, Gary, for your ongoing support. I really appreciate it. Cheers.